whole kit and caboodle right now is the counterparty risk for the average Joe, I think.
Yeah, I think it's guaranteed that your wealth will disappear if it's kept in the normal financial, whether it's stocks, shares, bonds, money markets, bank accounts, certificates of deposit. I think that's way more at risk than taking some reasonable precautions, storing, making your own storage arrangements.
Yeah. We got here, Pirates didn't have insurance for it. No doubt, Homestead, no doubt. Hey everybody, welcome into the Beehive. I'm your host, the Bee at LLC. This is where we stack precious metals like it's pollen and nectar. And today we have Ian Everard with us again. Let's pop him up here. Ian.
Hey.
How we doing? Too bad. How's your week?
It's been busy. Yeah. I had some long run deliveries to do and collections, and it's been our best week in over a year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good to hear. What is it, a lot of into the shop there?
Yeah, we've been doing some trades, helping people trade out of 1,000-ounce bars and 100-ounce bars into mainly the 2023 maples.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It's a real good opportunity at the moment. I think the premiums are just the lowest I've ever seen on a maple.
Sure. Yeah, premiums are down, huh? Yeah, what are they right now? What are you running there?
For reasonable quantities, we're doing $2.60 on the 2023 maple.
Nice. Cool. I see. So yeah, just getting something that's a little more, something that breaks down a bit easier than a 1,000-ounce bar. Plus it's got a sovereign coinage behind it.
Yeah, get a sovereign 4.9 fine. It's the last year the Queen will be on the maple. It's got the years of her reign. I don't know if you can see, if anybody hasn't seen one.
Sure.
Can you see just to the side of a portrait there? It's got the years of the Queen's reign.
Okay, that is a unique. So that's the 2020. What version is that?
That's a 2023. They didn't do a 2023 King, unlike on the Britannia. So yeah, it's a 23 maple.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't seen that design before. That was kind of cool. I see. Welcome in, David Carlisle. So yeah, what Canadian maples on? Is that just kind of the standard go-to right now, or Eagles are down too, or what?
Eagles are holding steady around 425. I don't think there's much slack in that. You can get a Britannia, a King Charles 2023 Britannia for $2.50 for 10 cents less. But generally, unless you live in the UK and you want to take advantage of the tax advantages of the Britannia, the maple is easily worth 10 cents more.
Okay, cool.
And think about it, it wasn't long ago people were charging over $3 for a generic round.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, interestingly enough, I just put out a short yesterday. My wife texted me a deal from Costco silver. So because I'd been telling her about the Costco gold, the story running around, and I'd heard that silver was out and I got a text from her, and sure enough, a member's deal. It was a pretty good deal. It was like $27. You have to be a member, you know, that's where you're getting your discount there, but that's about the lowest I've seen Eagles. But I put in an order, and I should have known better, because they reject, like, the order went through. They said, we've received your order, thank you, blah blah blah, here's your receipt. But then the next morning, she got an email saying that it was declined because I used my card on through her account.
Membership, yeah.
And so they pulled it, and then I said, well, you just get it and I'll pay you. But then when she went to get back and get it, they were sold out. So
yeah, I'm guessing they have a limit to the amount they're prepared to sell at that cost.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping to get in, but with that one little glitch, I didn't make it. So
well, give me a call after. We'll sort you out.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I'm planning on doing that. I made a little short about it. Just because if your wife is interested in silver, you want to take advantage of that, of her being interested in silver. So I didn't want to say no when she was making an offer to get some silver.
Sure.
So yeah, she's always trying to get me to go Costco, but anyway. All right, so yeah, I wanted to just say a few things about last week, and a few things I was saying, and left it kind of open in the air, and I was thinking about it, but I kind of got my questions answered, and just from things that have happened and other people I've heard talk about it. And I just wanted to go over it just a bit. We were talking about the big picture and how it works, and I was kind of looking at the inflation side of things and talking about how, there's all this air inflated into the bubble, as they say. And I can see the inflation side easy, but I was struggling to see, like Lynette Zhang will talk about, it's this two sides of the coin. So I was struggling to see that other side, but then I seen a clip about the reverse repo and how that's working, what they're using it for, and all these banks shutting down and in trouble, and how they're just liquefying, plugging holes basically. So that helped me to see the other side, and just it helps me to make sure that I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and boy, did it ever play out just within the last couple of weeks since we were last on.
Yeah, I mean, just today, the New York Community Bank, that's the bank that bought Signature Bank, and their stock is down 35% today. Their last quarter's profit last year, it wasn't a profit, it was $250 million loss. Whereas the year before, when they hadn't bought Signature Bank, they made 172 million profit in the quarter the year before that. Wow. So it looks like they just bought a heap of garbage, and nobody wants to trade with them. And now they're in the big boys banking club, the 100 billion plus supposed assets. So they have to have more reserves and more regulations. So it'll be interesting to see who's going to bail out New York Community Bank.
Wow. Yeah, it's just, and I'm sure you heard about the whole, what's going on in China as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how that'll end up affecting us as well, but that's just it. It's like any of these big blowouts can just have a backfire all the way down, is kind of the scary thing.
mean, for sure, with the Chinese commercial real estate, the Chinese residential, I don't know. I don't know if Ray Dalio's repositioned, but go back a year and he was bigging up China, saying it's a big opportunity. And it looks like a lot of their property won't be worth 10 cents on the dollar. Wow.
Yeah, I've heard people talk about that, but you never know, how true it is. But yeah, it sounds like it's falling apart at this point.
And the same here. We've got some commercial office space, commercial property. It's selling for 30% of what it was valued at 10 years ago.
Right. Yep.
So that's happening. You know, you can look up these figures of repossessions, forced sales,
Yep.
shopping malls in particular, stuff where just the user trends have just changed completely.
Right. Yep.
That's going to have a knock-on effect because banks are going to view any commercial real estate as toxic.
Sure.
So even if you're in a sound position and you come up to refinance, they're just going to be saying no, 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 or 10% or 15% interest.
I suppose. Yeah. And I mean, you can see it in all areas. I mean, it's showing its ugly head in a lot of places now. So it's interesting to see the backside of it like this playing out so much, where it was a little disguised for me there before. But yeah, well, there's and a lot going on, and I guess just like with falls of empires, it's usually accompanied by war, and that's going on as well, more and more. So I don't know, as far as where this is going to play out with the monetary side of things. But the whole Bitcoin is, to me, is just kind of a bait and a way to suck people into the electronic side of things, to try to secure their ideas of wealth online. And then, I know right now there's a big fight there, but even just sucking, turn it into, your money being online, to me is a big hook in itself. So, I mean,
yeah, I mean, we've several generations now that, I mean, they're just used to doing everything, aren't they, on their smartphone?
yeah, yeah. I have a feeling that's where they're, obviously they're trying to bring in this CBDC, and you'd think, there's a lot of people saying, oh, it'll never fly, but it's there. I don't know. But,
in the way I see it, when we have a complete banking crisis and a complete collapse, people will be so relieved to have a new digital dollar that works.
right, that's what I think.
And the bulk of people will see no drastic change in their situation on day one.
Right. Yep. They'll just roll over, and they're already talking about how they have a new system. Even the WEF is talking about how they have a whole nother platform operating that they're happy to be operating on, and it's just, I envisioned that beforehand, that, well, a lot of the system will go down, but of course they'll have one up. And so yeah, I think that's probably the way things are gonna roll. I don't see much, I don't put, again, I don't do the crypto thing, because I think that's just part of it. And so yeah, that's why I ended up on stacking like I do. So yeah, I mean, that's you don't know what is coming for sure, but the silver and gold is something that you can get in your hands, that you can be fairly sure of, and that's the promising thing about it for me, with what I see coming anyway.
I would say more than fairly sure. I mean, you've got it, you own it.
Right. And silver is, they've done a real good job with gold. It's knocking on its all-time high. So I mean, they didn't mask that as well. I mean, it's obviously being masked, but if you think, I mean, it's already up top basically. So
only in its dollar terms, not
right,
actual.
for sure.
If you inflation adjusted it, gold is nowhere near.
Right, I agree, but I mean, even amongst the fiats, it's finally topped out on the dollar, and everything else is under the dollar, right? So
yeah, we seem to be holding above $2,000 from that was the November close, wasn't it? We broke 2,000 and held.
Yep, that seems to be kind of the new bottom. It's broke a little for a little while, but it usually it's back up. So yeah, it seems to be the new bottom. I don't know, it could always be knocked out, but but yeah, I mean, really, that to me, like, you know, I watch the price levels too, but at this point, with what I'm seeing, there's really no need to focus on the daily moves. I mean, for the way I'm seeing things, you know, because you know, that's to me, it's kind of the one place you can go, and to me, this is playing out. So, you know, especially like I was saying, now seeing what's happened just since we talked last 2 weeks ago about, you know, I was talking about that hole and not being able to see it as well, and then, you know, 2 weeks later, it's pretty obvious. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
You know, so
and there's all the other Federal Reserve complicated schemes, you know, the TARP, the temporary, you know, asset
right,
release programs, and the,
right,
you know, and they do the same thing. They create funny money out of nowhere and give it to the give it to the banks.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I know there's people who, in fact, I was watching John Rubino, and man, did he lay out what I'm trying to stutter and stumble through. He laid it out pure as clear water the other day, and it really helped me out after I'd already kind of seen it happening. But he then went ahead and laid it out again for me, and yeah, it's pretty visible at this point to me. So yeah, but I mean, just for me, it's just keep pressing on. I mean, I was just kind of trying to reassure myself that I wasn't crazy, and but you know, and so on the one side of it, you see the inflation, and now I see the other side of it, this scary crashing could all fall side of it. But then of course, like today, the Fed came out and tries to say, you know, calm nerves and hold steady, and it's gonna get, I mean, either it's gonna go one way or the other, or it's gonna be really volatile type of thing, right? Because
yeah,
I mean, I know they're trying to manipulate things too, but it's starting to show up pretty obviously everywhere, it seems like. So it seems like, yeah, it's starting to really take off. But Homestead Aquarius, welcome in, David Carlisle. Thanks for being here. All right, so yeah, I wanted to ask about bullion insurance. I had a question about that, and I thought you might know a little bit about that. Is there such a thing as bullion insurance, and like of your own home, or I mean, I know they would have it at depositories and whatnot, but
I think that depends a lot on your home insurer, whether they classify. I think most policies, personal possessions, depending on the policy, can give you a fairly substantial amount of cover. So you'd have to check out your own policy for that.
okay. Yeah, I didn't know if, you know, if that's even something you really want to do, but
Yeah, you're sort of making it public if you declare, what you want to insure.
right, that's kind of the thing about it, is with whether you actually want to do that or not.
Yeah.
But for me, I think I would probably just, if I was at that point where I needed to have it insured, or, you know, I'd probably store somewhere else securely, and maybe get that insured or something, and keep the rest private. But anyway, I don't know how I don't have that much money to worry about that. So but
you will do when it finds its real value.
yeah. Well, at that point, I mean, even right now, we're seeing, you know, the counterparty risk, right? I mean, that's kind of the whole kit and caboodle right now is the counterparty risk for the average Joe, I think.
Yeah, I think it's guaranteed that your wealth will disappear if it's kept in the normal financial, whether it's stocks, shares, bonds, money markets, bank accounts, certificates of deposit. I think that's way more at risk than you know, taking some reasonable precautions, storing, making your own storage arrangements.
Yeah. We got here, pirates didn't have insurance for it. No doubt, Homestead, no doubt.